Shine, wild ones, it's Bernadette. I am here on this mystical, magical Monday, November 9th, 2020, for your Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading. Now, I hope y'all got some sleep and some rest over the weekend. I look back over my video for Sunday, the reading for Sunday, and I was like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, oh, I'm just really tired. So I got a good night's sleep, and now I dread this morning. Kind of, sort of, and not really. The card that I've been waiting to come this whole time finally showed up, and I have wanted this card desperately to show up for y'all, and then I have not wanted this card desperately to show up because, as y'all know, I'm all about authenticity. But there is just such a special trail for me with this particular spirit totem power animal that I knew to be authentic and give y'all, the for real deal story, I was going to have to let my freak flag fly. So, unicorn! Da, da, da! Unicorn has shown up for us today. And, and who is that? Well, that would be Pearl. She is the unicorn that wanted to come with me and my dear, dear friend when we went to the Arthur Findlay College in England a couple of years ago, because who else better to take to document your trip and share your trip with you than a unicorn to the UK? And so she's here. Let's see. I had to wear my unicorn and my kitty cat t-shirt. Not to be outdone by that. Come on, Pearl, sit right here. Say hi, wild ones. Hi to Pearl. Oh, okay. You can only see one ear. I got the unicorn slippers on. Unicorn slippers. And accompanying us today, sitting on my desk, I told y'all I was going to let my freak flag fly. We have Lilac, Pegasus, second cousin. We have, I haven't named this one yet, but we have decided that because fantasy and mythological creatures are every bit the true spirit totem and power animal, and I'm not joking, y'all, I'll get into that in a minute, every bit the spirit totem and power animal that, a quote-unquote real animal can be, that you can make them up in your head. And so if you want an owl with a unicorn horn, a gold unicorn horn, there you go. Or it might be a penguin. It could be anything. This animal could be anything you wanted. And then, of course, we have Rainbow. That's a first cousin, not even removed, but a first cousin. We have Skittles, another cousin. And then we have Emerald. So we have quite the collection of unicorn paraphernalia at Casa King. And the reason that, listen, this could be such an easy, upbeat kids. Bye, everybody. I gotta go. Mommy can't hold me all the way through this. No. And by the way, I want to go back to England. We all want to go back to England. So can we get those travel bans lifted? Thank you very much. We're sending unicorn horn energy to lift the travel bans and get past this COVID nonsense, because I got to go, y'all. I got to go back to the Arthur Findlay College, and so does Pearl. I'll show some pictures of Pearl in England as we go along in the video. So here's the thing. So yes, this might seem like Bernadette's flipped her lid, but unicorn, it is a truly powerful omen. And Mondays are all about the root chakra, which seems weird because like this fantasy mythological creature comes out. It's so tied in, you can't even believe it. And then, of course, the moon is the ruling planet, right? And for anybody that's ever looked into any kind of unicorn lore, legend, that kind of thing, even though, so briefly, the unicorn is on the flag of Scotland because of the horn. It was associated with power, the male phallus, all that kind of thing. And so they put the unicorn there. But many, many people associate unicorn with a feminine energy, which of course has ties into lunar energies in medicine and that kind of thing. So for me, and it's all about me, y'all. It's really not. It's all about you. But the story, here's why I'm obsessed with unicorns. So a few years back, I went through a divorce. Woo, Lordy. Ugh. The tiny pieces of my shattered heart. I'm still picking them up and gluing them back together with that Japanese, thing where they put the 18 karat gold in so that anything that's glued back together is more beautiful than it was before it shattered. I can't think of what the name is. One of y'all will write me. Thank you. And I, what's the first thing I did? I turned and I was like, okay, I need my spirit animals. I need whatever power animal. I already know my totem animal. That's always bear. It's always going to be bear. But I need a spirit animal and I need to be got. And all of a sudden, unicorns kept popping up everywhere, everywhere, and rainbows. Now, I love to have fun. You'll see me in a lot of graphic T-shirts. I'll cut the fool with the best of them. Okay, but I'm not 9, and so the I'm not rainbow bright. And the more Spirit sent those unicorns and the more those rainbows showed up, the angrier I got. I was like, for real? In my time of need? Because I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't even know what I was thinking why I wouldn't accept that animal. So the first lesson of today is, and it's not just me, y'all, since the art came out just a year ago, really, um, man, I can't tell you the people that have given me pushback because I included mythological and fantasy creatures in the deck. I mean, they're like, you're not a real shaman. I never said I was. You're not a real this. That's too fruity tooty kitty whatever. Okay. Uh okay, then go write your own deck and go write your own book. That said, that little bit of bitching out there. Oh my gosh. The volume of you guys that have been like, I'm so glad you did this because, and you've got these amazingly uplifting, inspiring stories of why a centaur is important to you, or a unicorn, or a minotaur, or anything from Greek or Roman mythology, or Chinese mythology, or this mythology, or that mythology, and then people send their artwork in of animals that they've drawn. They're like all different parts of different animals, and some of these are the most mesmerizing, powerful, beautiful renderings you ever saw. And so the first lesson here is, whatever animal shows up to you, I don't care if it's got one leg of a panda bear and one cloven hoof of a centaur, or a goat and it's got the tail of I don't know, a donkey and the body of, a blowfish, and it's got 45 horns sticking out of its head. That's your spirit animal. That's your power animal. And nobody else's business except for yours in the world of spirit, totem, and power animals. And it's just that simple. So there's that. Number 2, yours truly. Man, what a thick head I've got. So not only did all that nonsense go on, divorce, now I'm looking for a house, and I want to buy a house in a certain price range, and I really want it in a certain area. And all of a sudden, there's this for sale by owner house. And I looked at the pictures, and everything in my body lit up. I had goosebumps on top of goosebumps on top of goosebumps. So I called a real good friend of mine. She's crazy, amazing realtor. She goes, oh no, you don't want to do that. I'm like, why not? She said it's a for sale by owner. They never go through and they never go well. I said, okay, I'll handle it. Picked up the phone, called the number on the listing, Craigslist, as a matter of fact. And this lady answers in the first ring, and we proceed to be on the phone for an hour and a half about all things metaphysical. She got over 100 phone calls that day. She said, I don't know. She said, the phone rang. I had a feeling in the pit of my stomach that I should answer it, and here we are. Went the next morning, and there's a whole story I won't take up this reading with about that, but the link to the article that I wrote about it is below in the comments. It really does bear reading through, you guys, because if you're looking for a miracle, today is that day. If you are not, and I get this a lot in mediumship readings, man, you'll tell somebody something and it'll be on the money, and you know that it came from, their person that they wanted to hear from the other side, but they just won't believe it, because if you don't say that right word, or if they say, well, what was his nickname for me, or what was her, her favorite whatever, if you can't tell them that, then you're not credible, or their person is not really there. And this is such a call for you if you're practicing your mediumship, your psychic development, your intuitive tarot, you're working with the spirit totem and power animals. Stop denying, quit denying, believe miracles happen every day. And in fact, what if you stop thinking of them as miracles? What if you just start thinking of them as, oh, another day, another message? You know, never, I don't want you to ever be that bored with anything in life, but for sure not with spirit totem and power animals. But long story short, so I still couldn't God almighty, I couldn't understand why these unicorns kept showing up to me. And finally, I just ignored them. So bought the house, moved into the house, was driving out to go to where? Where's the only place Bernadette goes? Publix. When driving on out to Publix, happened to look over and see a sign I've seen a jillion times since I've lived in Gainesville. I grew up around here. I've seen that sign 9 million times. I don't know why it didn't register. I had to pull over. I started shaking, and then I started crying, and then I was just like doing the ugly cry. Why? Because the house I bought sits in the neighborhood behind Forest of the Unicorn, right here in Gainesville, Florida. And you know what else? If you go out the other way on the main road, you know what that community's called? The Rainbows. Right, Sue. Lessons, messages, they're all meant in divine love. I did a reading last week. I love this client. My God, I love this gal. And her husband passed away. It's tragic. Not that all passings aren't tragic, because in their way they are. But it didn't matter what I told this gal. This time she just would not believe, could not believe, didn't want to hear it. And finally, there was a message that came that was so deeply personal. And it erred on the side of a bit of darkness, in that it was about something so life and deathish. And that's the only time that she believed. That's when it hit her, bam, right in her heart chakra. So why I bring up that the root chakra, which is supposed to keep you grounded and solid and stable, is the very best chakra that a unicorn and magic and the belief in magic could show up for, is because you never want to lose that. Never, ever, ever lose that belief in magic and miracles, because when you're intuiting the messages for a client, a friend, family, even yourself, or you're with someone that is intuiting messages for you that you trust, that lives in their integrity, okay, and is a tapped in reader, not making that crap up, as they go along, you might have a very serious message that has to come to you. You might have to deliver a very serious message. And so it's crucial, it's critical that you understand that the belief is that messages from unicorns, which are usually always depicted as white, come from the most pure, divine love there could ever be. We think we can imagine it, we think we can feel it. I don't know. I think when we cross over and we remember, I think we'll know what divine love really, truly means and feels like. And so when you think about the unicorn in lore and legend and myth, and you think just in terms of, the meanings, the spirit totem and power animal meanings, the symbolic meanings, the spiritual meanings, and I just use all these words because people have so many different words that they use, an omen, a message or whatever. no matter what the message is that you're getting, it comes from a place of pure divine love. The hope is that the reader that you're with, or the reader that you're becoming, or the reader that you already are, your purest desire is to help people get the messages that they need at the moment, which you don't get to make a determination of. That's why it's called channeling. So that's the hope. And no matter how tough it is for them to hear, that they can trust that it does come from a place that means them only the deepest, purest divine love. But the counter to that, y'all, is when you do get the great opportunity to tell somebody, your wishes are about to come true, boing, with your magic wand, that they have enough belief in magic and miracles. They have enough faith in their ancestors and their animal guides and their angels and God and what, listen, it could be a Harley Davidson motorbike they believe in more than anything. Doesn't matter to me. The point is that they believe. And Harleys are really loud, by the way. I'm an Indian motorcycle fan. One day I'm going to get the courage to buy an Indian and ride it. So that can sometimes be the harder thing, is to get messages across that seem childish or frivolous or like whatevs, because people want that lion or that eagle or that whatever. I love my bears. And of course, that's the first thing I want to get a message from. But second to that, it might very well be unicorns, not because of my personal story, but because they have a little secret, you see. And the secret in unicorns is in their horn. Because when you take a look at that horn, it's very much like a pyramid, which has its power at the bottom, spread out, and then it all gathers at the top. And you can go wah, 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 wah. You can point that magic, that energy, that power, you can point that anywhere. You can move your head anywhere. I could probably point it from my feet with my slippers on. That's the secret of unicorns. They are a balance of the sweetest, kindest, most gentle, compassionate love, and they will protect you. They will take that horn and ram it right through, whether metaphorically, energetically, but in stories from the beginning of time, because man, you can trace stories about unicorns to pre-15th century, I believe. That's a long time ago. They will stab them. I'll shank you. I'm a unicorn. I will shank you. Get it together. Back off. And I'll do it with divine love, but I'm going to shank you. So that's one of the biggest reasons they're great protectors in many, many, many ways. And they're great inspirers and motivators in many, many, many ways. So if unicorn is showing up as your spirit animal, they also, one tear from a unicorn, that's about healing. So their waters are very potent waters, very, very almost like godlike if you think about it. And their ability to evolve is quite something. They're actually thought to be pure gold up until I think they're like 7, and they mature, and then they emerge into white. And a lot of people think that unicorns are just horses with horns and shimmery hair. And actually, if you take a look at the art renderings from all over the world from many moons ago, they actually have hooves like goats, and they've got other body parts that just, they're not just horses. They're an amalgamation of a number of different animals. But one of the things that I love about unicorns having the hooves as they do in many, many renderings, I couldn't find one, y'all. You don't even know what I went through to find a dang unicorn or create a unicorn for the art. So It doesn't have the split hoof. I wish it did. Maybe in the future it will. But that the goat energy about that is about how goats can hang on and climb to the highest mountains with literally 2 square inches of ledge given to them. And they trust that that mountain's not going anywhere, and they lean up against that mountain and they go up against that. They're the most amazing creatures. And so I always see unicorns as also, you're going to survive this. You don't need very much. You might be hanging on by your fingertips, and you might think you're losing ground, and you might feel like you're slipping. No, you're not. No, you're not, because you're going to call on unicorn energy, and unicorn energy is going to make you goat-like, and you are going to just take that 2 inches, and you're going to crawl up another 2 inches, and another 2 inches, and another 2 inches, and the next thing you know, you have climbed every mountain. You are Julie Andrews singing at the top of that mountain, twirling around with your shimmery unicorn hair, and you could even do this, like, with your horn, and rainbows and sparkles will spit out everywhere because you did it. Yes, you did. You and unicorn energy. So whether unicorn is showing up to you as a spirit animal, whether you are trying to unite your own spirit with unicorn to be your power animal, for whatever the reasons are, good for you. Good for you. Good for you continuing to believe in the magic and the miracles. And good for you. I'm just going to leave it at that, because I could go on and 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 on about this. But at the end of the day, really what you're doing is you are creating within your own spirit such a beautiful, beautiful energy and medicine of being a person that can love the most divinely, and the person that will get with it and protect those that they love and those that need protecting. And you do it with aplomb. You do it with sparkle and shine. And what's not to love about that? So I hope this was helpful. Pick up your copy of the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck if you want to be sure that you get the unicorn and all the other fantasy creatures. Buy the special edition, the deluxe edition that has all of the add-on packs in it. And if you have an ARC and you haven't bought all the add-on packs, I urge you to do so, because you've got 49 extra animals to work with. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you are the first to see these videos every day. You can also sign up for the daily reading newsletter. Oh, you guys, just have a magical, miraculous Monday. Write in and tell me any miracles that happened to you today. I'll be so happy to hear them and see them. And like always, hold on. Wait, where'd she go? There she is. Skittles. Taste the rainbow. Skittles and I wish you what? What's the most important magical mystical thing you can do for yourself? To stay wild.